Welcome back, ladies, gents and Pikachus. Just a little bit more information about the whole gravity, black holes and the singularity thing this guy was arguing with me about. I thought maybe this is something that people don't actually know because they haven't read this stuff, so I'm going to tell you about it. The infinitesimally small speck which precedes the Big Bang, you know, the infinitely energetic and dense particle of infinite energy, how that is described and why it's described as being infinite is because in science, if something has an infinite amount of energy and it exists, even when there's no physics, it cannot be invisible. It cannot have no matter. So mathematically, the smallest particle of matter that we can assign it, in order that that energy can go inside it, is the speck. It doesn't literally mean like a grain of salt or a particle. It's literally a theoretical block that's so tiny that it might as well be invisible, but it can't be invisible because science doesn't understand invisible. As far as science is concerned, even things which you can see through, which seem invisible, have matter. Even gas has matter. So that's what the singularity is describing. When it says an infinitesimally small speck filled with unlimited infinite energy, the reason why it's described like that is because that's described in mathematics. It doesn't have actual matter. This is before the Big Bang. There's nothing there. It's just void. There's not even void. There's nothing. All that's there is the Spirit of God, and science can't explain or describe that. So as far as science is concerned, nothing was there, and everything starts after the Big Bang. The millisecond after the Big Bang has gone off, that's when science begins. So this guy saying he's trying to explain to me that infinite means, numbers you can't make reason of, that's wrong. The whole point in infinite being a number, the infinity symbol, is to put reasoning on things that science can't explain. And that's why you have this infinitesimally small speck. It's not really there. It has no matter. But to make sense of it in equations, so that you can even consider it as a thing in concept, it has to have at least one tiny little speck of something, which is matter, in order for that energy that's infinite to be contained within it. And that explains, in the conservation of energy theory, Einstein's E equals mc squared, when it explodes, the energy that's inside it already is conserved and is just moving outwards. Nothing's created or destroyed at that point, it's just spreading outwards, with the force of the explosion. That's why they call it a bang. It's not actually an explosion. If there's no air when it happened, where's the explosion going to explode into? So it's an implosion, if anything. It's an expanding implosion. That's why space is moving this way towards gravity while it's actually expanding. So that is what creates gravity. Everything's expanding out as this Big Bang continues forever to happen, but it's moving back in towards the centre as well, and that's what creates gravity. But like I was saying, that's a theory. We can't prove that. The same as we can't prove that what happened before the Big Bang was something caused it, even though we know something must have caused it. So what I was saying is, if we are consistent with that theory of the Big Bang, with science and physics as we know, and Genesis, then before the Big Bang happened, when there was nothing, there was the Spirit of God. And the Spirit of God caused the infinitesimally small speck to exist in the first place, and then exploded it into everything we have now: planets, space, human life, animals, plants, gravity wells, everything. And that's how the Big Bang happened. So, in conclusion, yes, I do think it was a speck filled with infinite energy, and that exploded. But the thing that science will never be able to explain, and we'll freely admit this, that guy wouldn't, but a scientist would, something must have put that energy there. Because we, as humans, we have never figured out how to create energy from nothing. We can transfer energy to something else, or we can convert energy into another form of energy, but we cannot create energy, and neither can we destroy energy. And that was Einstein's theory. Energy equals mass, squared. And that's what that EMC squared thing is describing. It's describing energy on one side and matter on the other. So this always equals this. You never lose any. You never create any, you never destroy any. It's always there. And that's why the speck had infinite energy, because the size of the whole universe and everything in it, constantly expanding, is infinite as far as we know. So all that must have been there to start with for E equals mc squared to be true. That's what this guy didn't get. But anyway, he was rude, I blocked him, he's gone, he won't be coming back. But I still think it's worth discussing. If you're interested, I put some links under the video response that I did to him. Go and have a look at those links. What else can you do? There is a book called Masters of the Universe, which is written by tons of different physics professors and is absolutely amazing. Stephen Hawking wrote a book called Baby Universes, Black Holes and a Brief History of Time. That's 2 different books actually. No, Baby Universes and Other Essays is one. A Brief History of Time is another. In fact, all of Stephen Hawking's books are great. Go and buy those. And Einstein himself, although he didn't write a book, his notes have been converted into books that you can get on Google for free or you can buy on Amazon. If you are really intent, like I was and am, on understanding the fabric of reality, how do we exist within what we exist in, what is it made of, how does it work, absolutely would recommend you go and read all those books, read all that stuff on the internet, read the links that I left, the NASA page, all of it. Sink yourself into it. It's going to take you months to understand it, but you'll have a great time. And in conclusion, at the end of it, unlike that guy, you will really have a proper, full comprehension and understanding of what the reality is, what the universe inside the reality is, how it came about, how it's evolving and expanding and changing, and why it is that you need God to create it, because human beings can't create energy or destroy energy. All we can do is set fire to carbon to turn it into smoke and flame, and then the smoke and flame can be turned back into carbon at a later date. There's nothing lost, it's just converted. And likewise, for the energy in the infinitesimally small speck to exist, it would have had to have been infinite. Otherwise the equation for EMC square wouldn't work, and that's how we know. Even though there was nothing, then there was something, big bang, life, the universe. Something must have put the energy there to begin with, and we will never understand what that is unless we read Genesis and believe that it was God. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that. Good bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Good bless, God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. So that's the how, about how the universe was created. But if you want to answer the question of why the universe was created, you're going to have to pray. And that's all I have to say on that. So hope you enjoyed that. God bless, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Bye bye bye.